Not even going to tell you good evening, folks, because, man, oh man, I told you not to go anywhere, because here we are. We're back at Five Flags Speedways for race number 2 on the evening here for Verdane TV. Here at Pensacola, Five Flags Speedway down here in Pensacola, Florida. We just crowned a champion for the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series, and always cool to have those cats on board here at Verdane TV. And here we're actually qualifying for the Tim's Corner Motorsports show All-Star Showcase here Thursday night, as we've got the All-Star Showcase Open on tap. I am Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr., and in here with the booth, in here in the booth with me, easy enough for me to say, Mike James on the rock, and Jerry Paxton joining us for the very first time on Verdane TV. Mikey, how you doing tonight, brother?
Well, I'm glad I'm not inside you, but
As am I.
It is another day in a row here. This is going to be a big week. This is our 5th night in a row announcing for TCM Special Events. We're here at Five Flags, and it's a nighttime race, half mile, boys. Very impressed with this track here in Pensacola, and we're not going to see a lot of the winners that we've seen over the last 2 months. Now, this is last chance for romance. This is a qualifier to get into the big All-Star Showcase. So we are going to take several of these drivers here tonight for Thursday night. So, we're not going to see some of the ones like Mike Alexander or Nicholas Codner, who's taken several wins throughout this last couple of months. So there is a lot of activity on the line tonight. Jerry, how are you, buddy, up there in Ontario?
We're doing all right up here. We've got a heat wave going, so we're doing our best to stay hydrated with our good Canadian beverages. And now it's time to go racing.
Well,
you know how it goes.
Get them on ice. It's going to be a great night here, and Verdane TV putting off another awesome showcase with TCM. Big shout out to Tranquility.app, folks. Check them out online. We're going to see some commercials later on for them, but a special thank you to Mark D'Entremont, who's in here tonight. He's going to be qualifying. He's in the 77 ride. Some other big names in there. Dave Cassidy in the 13. Keith McClellan hasn't won a race in the last couple of months. But the 30 ride, Daddy Mac, Keith Mack, will be looking for a big win here tonight. But two-time Maritime Pro Stock Tour champion for the Parts or Trucks Tour, Cole Butcher. Jerry, you're very familiar with the 53 car.
Oh, yeah. I've met Cole several times, watched him in Victory Lane, been there to talk to him. And, man, that's a guy that's got a lot of talent. He's been really putting on a great show, did a great job running for the Alan Kowicki Driver Development Program. And Cole's come a long, long way in a very few years, stepping out of that legend car into the Pro Stock, and he has not looked back at all. I think he's going to have to start looking in his mirror, though. There's a 54 car that seems to be chasing him down real bad. And that, of course, would be his brother, Jarrett.
Well, he's going to be looking for his first win over here in the TCM Special Events. He wants to be in that main event. We're going to see him again tomorrow night for the Parts for Trucks Maritime Pro Stock Tour. So we're going to have another header, big game tomorrow night. But we are going to go back down to trackside. We are now setting them up. The 75 of Scott Alexander will be sitting on the pole. And next to him, the 44 of Russell Smith. On the inside of row number 2, Tyler Reed in the 100 car. He'll have the 42 of Mark Williams on the outside. And the inside of row number 3, John Byron, who's been super hot the last couple of weeks here, will be riding into 57. He'll have the 41 of Jason Goss of Torbay, Newfoundland, Labrador on his side. On the inside of row number 4, the 84 car, the young gun from the Bandolero Series from Eastbound International Speedway, Noah Healy will be there. And completing the field will be the 33 of Trevor Smith on the outside of Healy and Tony Wright to the tail. So the 93 of Tony Wright, 9 cars vying for this heat race. We're going to have, we earlier on seen some qualifiers there, Jerry. So we'll see them once we get to the main event for the Tranquility race. But in the meantime, we're going to get some qualifiers. Not everybody will make the show tonight.
And when you get down to this kind of racing, when we're doing a qualifier to get into a no-go or no-go kind of show, you already know what's going to happen. Patience goes out the window. You just go. You have no time to think about it. You got to put the hammer down. You got to drive hard. You got to take all the chances that come your way. And Mike, I'm ready to see a little bit of paint exchange, I think.
Oh, well, wait till the LCQs, because that's a bit of a battle royal. But lights are out on the pace truck. The headlights showing the way around this half mile here in Pensacola. We are ready to go here at Five Flags. And it's going to be the 75 of Scott Alexander who will have the command here to get things going. The 44 will have to be aware of what's going on with the 75. And it's actually shown the 15, but he scored as the 75. But it is the 15 of Scott Alexander. Here we go. Pace cars off. Jerry, we are ready to go.
Out of turn 4, here they come. It's not going to take Alexander long. He is going to jump out into the lead as the 44 Russell Smith Jr. will fall just in behind him. Then it's back to that bright red machine. That's the 100 of Tyler Reed.
Mark Williams tucking into the 4th position. I did not get from the director, Tim Terry. Hopefully we can get him in here. But just, Paul, if you can find out, we were looking to see how many will actually be going to the big show from this heat race.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll get in touch with the administrator next door, Tim Terry, find out exactly how many are coming in from the heat races as well as the last chance qualifying races here coming up.
Well, Scott Alexander in full control there. The 44 looking a little to the bottom as the 15 of Scott Alexander was trying that outside line there, Jerry. So 2 different grooves here from the top 2 here.
Watching Alexander in that 75, the 15 car out in front, he's got a lot of handle. He's running that thing all the way out to the wall, then back down to the bottom. Russell Smith Jr., he likes to tuck that 44 car to the bottom and just hold that bottom line as much as he can. He's looking for the opportunity as he snugs it up. He's within a car length now of the leader, Alexander.
Well, that real estate between the 2 has come together quite a bit there with the 15 of Scott Alexander tagging that wall a couple of times and opens the door for Russell Smith in the 44. But look at that, Tyler Reed and the 100 and Mark Williams and Jason Goss now coming into the picture. Your top 5 is a freight train.
And that's where things are going to get interesting, because this is where you're going to have to make something happen. You can't wait for it to come your way. You've got to go after it. We're lap 7 or 12. That means we're past the halfway. It's go time. Russell Smith Jr. in that 44, keeping an eye on Russell. He looks like he's setting up 15 of Alexander.
Looks like we got a caution on the track, boys. We'll see if we can go through and find out exactly where that puff of smoke is. You see the pace car gathering that 15 car up there of Scott Alexander.
Oh, the Mustang just tagged the 44.
And pace car going to find his way out to the front.
Drive through. Sorry, Paul.
Worries, bud.
I get excited when the pace car does something stupid. Oh, a little Rockstar Energy. We were talking about Rockstar Energy earlier on. Jason Goss to the tail, so I think...
Jason Goss to the tail. Let's see if we can take a look. Yeah. Aha!
The 40.
There it is. So we'll give it to you right now. We'll give it to you in real time. Taking a look at the Shed Life Shed Movers instant replay. Focus in that number 41 gray car there of Goss. Gets into the back of the 42 just a little bit. And looks like he tries his best to try and straighten him back out. But, man, they just don't want to leave each other's doors. And up into the outside wall they go. And they collect that Rockstar machine, too. So, tough break for the 41, the 42. I got to say, you'll probably see those cats in the last chance qualifier here coming up later on tonight.
Well, it's taking a significant amount of damage on the 41 now. But as they come around here for the caution laps, time is now running out for our leaders. Just 3 laps to go here. The lights are still on the pace car, so we should have a green-white checkered here, Jerry. So it's going to be a bit of a shootout here. Paul, did we get a confirmation on who's going to the show?
We're going to get confirmation of that right now. We just get a little bit of booth-to-booth communication with Tim Terry. Tim, how many guys are we taking from the heat race? How many guys are we taking from the consies?
Everything is 4 tonight to make it easy for you. 4 qualifying races, taking 4 from each of the heats, 3 heats, 12 laps. We've extended the last chance qualifier tonight to 40 laps, seeing that this is the finale for a lot of these guys. We'll take 4 from there, too. So top 4 make it in. Noah Healy's currently on a transfer position, but see what we can do on a green-white checker.
1, 2, 4. Got it, Tim. Easy enough.
4, 4, 4, 4, 4.
That could bode well for the 44 with Russell Smith. Maybe the 4s on that side of the car be like a giant horseshoe. Green flag is back out. We're back to racing.
Oh, 84 car around.
Noah Healy.
Noah
got
Healy in the
collected
57 there. John Byron, or Jean Baron. I believe he said it was John Byron earlier.
Johnny Byron.
Johnny Byron. Getting a little bit excited with my French-Canadian accent. From Connecticut anyway.
That's the second time you tried to go French on that one.
Yeah, well, you never know with
It's
Canada.
not Jean Baron.
Jean Baron.
It's Johnny Byron, man.
Johnny Byron. So we'll take a look, another look here at the Shed Life Shed Movers instant replay. Going to view the replay. We'll give it to you in real time, and going to focus in on the 57 and I believe we'll see 58, 84. Just kidding. I know how to count, I promise. But right off the rip, right off the caution, or green flag rather, you can see the 57. Looks like he gets into the back of the 100 car, sends the 100 car into the 57 in there. You see that Rockstar machine getting just a little piece of it, but not enough to ruin his night. So big damage here for the 84 and the 57. We'll see where they end up later on in the heat race. Looks like they're going to be restarting from the back of the pack, but looks like we got ourselves another couple of contenders here for the last chance qualifier coming up here.
Jerry, what really just happened there just was a gift to the 41 of Jason Goss. Goss was all the way to the tail without a chance here, I don't think, and now he's in position sitting on the outside of that window of that transfer spot on Tony Wright in the 93.
We'll just have to wait and see how much damage was actually done to that 41 car if he's able to keep up the speed. But absolutely, when you go from the back to the transfer position, it's certainly a gift, that's for sure.
Now, they do have him at the back of the pack, but I have him scored as in 5th, so not sure what's going on there.
One spot out.
May very well have had a couple of guys jump down pit road, and anytime there's a penalty, and if somebody decides they want to pit after that, they actually jump in behind everybody that gets a penalty. So it looks like the 41 is going to be restarting from the 5th position here, one spot outside of the transfer spot.
Well, let's see how they shake it out as we get back to the green flag racing, because the battle is definitely on. I think it's in the middle of the pack. Once we've seen all the action so far, those runners up front have simply got out, ran away from everybody else. So let's see what the rest of the team can do here, if they can keep it straight and finish 4 guys across the stripe.
Well, like Paul had said at the beginning, this is some of the last chances to get into this all-star race. So a lot is on the line for these drivers. A bit of cash is going to be distributed on Thursday night for the TCM All-Star Showcase. So a lot of these guys really want to make a showing for their sponsors and for the lot of hard work over the last 2 months during this COVID-19 break. So Scott Alexander is going to get it going here for him, and he'll get a nice jump as the 44 Russell Smith tucks in there behind. But Alexander smooth sailing here with 2 laps to go.
And with 2 to go, Alexander is out in front. The 44, Russell Smith Jr., going to follow him on the bottom side of the racetrack, but he's letting him have that extra room. There's lots of space in there. Guy on the move right now is the 41 car, Jason Goss. He is right on the back bumper of that 42 of Mark Williams. Those 2 are the final 2 in the cutoff position, so not sure if he's going to push him, but
hang on to it.
After we cross the line, we get at it.
The ceremonious wreck, as that's called, as I've learned down at some of the tracks down there in Florida. But great to see those guys transfer in, and already getting these guys lined up for heat race number 2. And wouldn't you know it, the front row consists of Rational Richard Drake in the 141 and Caden Tufts in the 88.
Well, the young gun, Caden Tufts, a Bando driver from Nova Scotia in the 88. He's going to have Todd Cousins on the inside of row number 2 in the 2 car. Brandon Tobin in the 86 on the outside. Colin Matthews in the 65 Cat car is on the inside of row number 3 with John Gahan on the outside in the 16. Brandon Hiscock in the 41 will be on the inside of row number 4 with Devin Smith in the 94. Completing the field is the 111 of Craig Weigel. Jerry, who's got your picks? Anybody familiar for you? You know that guy, Rational Richard Drake?
I've seen that guy a couple of times racing, so yeah, he's... I don't know if I want to call him a favorite. When you're up front, you're under a lot of pressure. He may break.
Well, you know, anybody that's got a nickname must be somewhat decent, right?
Depends who gave him the nickname.
That is some insight right there. Let me tell you.
I'm not quite sure who calls him Rationale, but he has a young gun, the Caden Tufts on the outside. Tufts has been pretty good, probably one of the most improved drivers. Some of these Bando drivers over the last couple of months, Noah Healy, Codner, Michael Neary, so many different young guns have done so well over the last couple of months, and even Corey Reed from Newfoundland, who just picked it up just a couple weeks. But we are off to the races here. Richard Drake gets a good push, but look at that. Todd Cousins was on that inside and is taking full advantage and keeping Caden Tufts to the outside. That's going to be tough for Caden to drop to the bottom, but Caden is going to go door to door with the 2. And look at that, the 2 now a little bit in control here. Caden Tufts still putting lots of pressure on Jerry. What a battle for that position number 2.
Cousins is working hard in that second spot, trying to hold on to it in that 2 car. But the 88, as you say, of Tufts, he is not going to give it up without a big fight. Back behind him, I can see a battle starting to form up as well. That 65 cat car trying to stay out of trouble right now, I think, as he watches those 2 in front of him battling it out for that second position.
Yeah, Cole Matthews in that transfer position right now with John Gahan on the outside. So keep an eye on that 16 in the 5th position. John Gahan needs to pick up that spot to make it to the big Tranquility main event here tonight and hopefully make it to the big show on Thursday. But Caden Tufts holding off a force now as the 16 of Gahan comes up and Colin Matthews pushed to the outside. Gahan is on the move, but Caden Tufts drops to the bottom.
And a great move there by the 16 of John Gahan, just working at it, got underneath.
Oh,
And,
16 around.
I think that's a little payback.
Yeah, you almost seen it coming. I thought for sure we would have seen a little contact with the 88 as that was pretty close quarters there for a little bit. I thought for sure someone was going to grab each other by the corner, but it ends up being the 16 and the 65.
Yeah, Shed Life Shed Movers Instant Replay. We'll give it to you in real time here. 16 and the 65 end on end. 65 just gives him a little bit of a boop and sends him on around. Doesn't look like the 16 hits anything. He may have kissed the inside pit road wall there, but able to grab a gear and get on through the gearbox and get pointed in the right direction. So, going to be restarting in the back of the pack with less than halfway to go. We may be able to see him climb his way through the field here to try and get a top 4 in the heat race to make it to the big show later on. But looks like we may very well be seeing John Gahan in the last chance qualifying race here later on.
I know Colin Matthews was into the back of the 16, but it could have been the 16 lift in there because the 88 of Caden Tufts did drop down in front of the 16. And I don't know. I think if it was me, I think John Gahan probably lifted and checked up a little bit there.
Not sure about the lift. I know he got off getting it as he headed into the corner, so I started to wonder myself if maybe he lifted a little bit earlier than Gahan. Gahan just didn't have a whole lot of choice. He was either get into him or put it sideways in the fence, and that's never fun.
No, for sure. But we are going to have a new front row. Todd Cousins in the 2 car will set up on the side of the 141 of Rational Richard Drake, and Caden Tufts will now start on the inside. With this iRacing, Paxton, Jerry, I know this is kind of new for you, but very difficult to be on the outside and predict when the leader is going to shoot here. So, it's kind of make your notes. Some of the drivers out there, like Corey Hall, Mike Alexander, usually take off as soon as the pace truck or car is out of the way. But some of them do delay, so very difficult for the outside to judge when to fire.
And it puts a lot of pressure on that outside row, and there it is again. Rational Richard in the 141 gets a great start off the green flag, almost a car length on that number 2 of Cousins as he took off the 88 now of Tufts.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly what I was trying to say was it's very difficult to judge that outside line unless you know the driver fire right away. But that really opens up the door for the inside of row number 2, and that is the 88 right now, Caden Tufts, now taking over that spot from Todd Cousins. But we are 2 laps to go here, a little shootout to find the final 4. Brandon Tobin, the 86, is on the outside looking in on the 94 of Devin Smith. Final
And I'm
lap.
not sure if the 86 has got a lot for him that hasn't been showing a lot of muscle back there. So he may be just patiently waiting, thinking, oh, save it, go later, because right now it's all done.
And that is going to be your top four. Rational Richard Drake in the 141 picks up some checkers here in heat race number 2. The 88 of Caden Tufts is going to go through with the 2 of Todd Cousins, and completing the top 4, the 94 of Devin Smith, making it to the Tranquility main event here for the All-Star Shootout Open. So these cars are vying for the big race on Thursday night. Bit of cash on the line. And when cash comes into effect with a driver, the gloves come off. Hey, Jerry.
Never better said.
Cash and beer.
If you want to watch the drivers, just, $50,000 race card means nothing. I'm after a $1,000 purse.
Exactly. We're going to get things going here. We're gridding once again. Jerry, do you got a time sheet there? You'll be able to get this one?
I think I can grab this one. Starting on the 4, the 00 is Taunton Wildridge. And then beside him will be the 13, Dave Cassidy. Travis Roman in the number 38 will start on the inside of row number 2. Beside him, the 27 is going to be Matt Watson. On row number 3, Campbell Delaney, and that number 9 will start to the inside. Dave Horton will take the 73 on the outside lane. Starting in 7th position, inside row number 4, the 14, Terry Duguay. And beside him, the number 19, Ryan Walsh.
Jerry ain't no rookie. Laying the smackdown on that starting grid. Great job there for the first time being here on Verdane TV and calling an iRacing race. So lots of action coming up here in the 3rd heat race. Double aught starting up front, 13 on the outside.
Now, where's the 91? 91 still not making the call here. He was supposed to complete the field. The 91 of Jason Halverson, who's been pretty hot the last couple of races. So, unfortunately, we are not seeing Halverson. Hopefully, he can make the call here. But we are getting going here, and it's going to be the 00 of Tanton Woolridge gets a huge jump out front of David Cassidy and Travis Roma.
Yeah, that one looked a little bit rough. Looked like the second place car was almost asleep at the wheel. Didn't see it coming. But didn't take long for Cassidy to pick up the pace, and now we've got 3 cars fighting for that 3rd spot.
One of the things to keep in mind here on the start, 13 gets turned around by the 27 car, and that's going to bring out the caution. We'll bring that up on the replay. 13 able to grab a gear and get on going in the right direction. Holy moly, Mike. Calamity on lap number 2 of this 3rd heat race.
I thought we replaced the word calamity to tangly.
A whole bunch of tangly here in the 3rd heat race. But we'll pull up the Shed Life Shed Movers instant replay here. And we're going to give it to you in real time. The 13 on the outside and gets just a little bit of a bump as he comes on down from the 27. Shoots him on around and gets a shot from that blue car there. But not a big hit. Able to kind of get going. Sponsored by Mike's Bar and Grill. Mike, you got anything to do with that?
No sausages for him.
No sausages for him. So...
I'm kind of rooting for Dave Cassidy. Cassidy has been pretty hot. There's been a couple of races where he was in the top 4 vying for a win. So Cassidy, was looking to get into this All-Star race because I think he may have something for us Thursday. Talk about another driver here, Ryan Walsh, the 19 from Newfoundland, throwing the big flag on the hood here. What a night he had last night in Talladega with Corey Reed. What a tag team moment. Both of them taking it all the way through the heats and then leading half of the race. But they had a huge night last night in Dega. So it's been a busy week for all these drivers. We were in Oxford, North Wilkesboro. We were in Talladega. And now we are in Five Flags. And I believe tomorrow we're heading to Oxford again. So big race tomorrow for the Parts for Trucks Maritime Pro Stock Tour. We're going to see some of these guys, Jerry, and I believe you will be joining myself, Paul, and Showtime, or Smoking Joe Chisholm will be here with us tomorrow. I threw in the Showtime. I tried to steal that from you, Paul.
Get off that. That's my nickname.
Who gave you that nickname, or did you give it to yourself?
I actually got it from the bartender in town. I'm not exactly sure why, but I picked it up and I ran with it.
Was it a girl, I hope?
No.
Showtime!
Hey, Showtime, what you drinking? Well, Jack and Ginger, as always, sir.
Travis Roma will now get up out there on the front row with Tanton Woolridge. Tanton's been pretty hot too as well, the 0-0. On the start of this race, we were halfway there, Jerry, but he had a huge jump, and he's not messing around. As soon as that Mustang was out of the way, he fired, and we're seeing, again, a couple car lengths, but Travis Roma was not asleep on this one, Jerry.
No. Travis Roman, that 38 car, he was on it. If he could have got on just a second or two earlier, I think he would have, but he didn't want to jump that flag. That would have been a nasty penalty to send him to the back. Right now, he is in fighting position to take that lead away from the 0-0-10. As Roman now chasing him down the back straightaway, that number 9 of Campbell Delaney sliding in behind it, along with the number 27 of Matt Watson. That's rounding out that front four. And, man, they look like they're pulling away on the rest of the field.
Yeah, looking at the time sheet here, the fastest car on the lap is Tanton Woolridge at a 17:178. Next to him would be Travis Roma. So big gap right now in the transfer position. The top four about 10 or 12 car lengths now on Terry Duguay in the 14 car. But Duguay trying to throw at that reel. He's probably going to lose run out of a little bit of time in real estate here. As 2 laps to go, Jerry. That is going to be a tough one to get to that transfer. But Terry Duguay throwing it in there and trying to make up spots.
Tanton Woolridge has got this one under control. Travis Roma in that 38 sitting in second spot as they come around to pick up the white flag. They've got 1 to go, but I don't think anybody's got anything for Woolridge, and they're going to sit back. They've got their 4 qualifying positions. They're going to take them, and the front 4 are going to finish. Woolridge, then Roma in the 38, the 9 of Delaney, and Watson in that 27.
And my ticker was a little bit messed up there, but it was actually David Cassidy who was on the outside looking in. So he tried to make a run there. He did have the fastest time of the day, so unfortunately for Cassidy, he will end up in the last chance for Romance qualifier. So we're going to have 40 laps on the board for them a little bit later. But we are into our 4th heat race, Jerry, and we're going to get things going again before we get into... Oh, no, this will be our first last chance qualifier. This is our first LCQ. My bad. It's going so fast tonight that I'm kind of lost, so help me out here.
Ripping on through the field here is looks like we have 15 cars lined up for the very first Conti race here, and looking wait for him to show up on the track is going to be the 93. He's supposed to be starting on pole, hasn't made it to the car. There he goes. The 93 of Tony Wright going to be starting on the pole. Outside of him going to be Brandon Tobin in the 86 car.
And there is that 13 car of David Cassidy. We talked about him earlier, and he was in that 5th spot, but he's got a big shot here now. The 33 of Trevor Smith will be on the outside of row number 2. John Gahan in the 16 will be on the inside of row number 3. Ryan Walsh will be in position 6 in the 19 ride. Noah Healy in the 84 will be on the inside of row number 4. And he'll have another Newfoundlander hobby stock driver, the 41 of Brandon Hiscock, on his door. On the inside of row number 5, the 73 of David Horton. He'll be riding that 73. He'll have Tyler Reed in the 100 on the outside in position number 10. 65 of Colin Matthews will be on the inside of row number 6. Terry Duguay will be in the 14 right next to him. John Byron in the 57 on the row in the inside in position number 13. Craig Weagle in the 111 will complete the field. So there we go, 14 cars. Jason Halverson still not making the call, missed the heat race, so we will not see the 91 of Jason Halverson. But we are getting ready to go. Lights are out, Jerry. We are getting ready to go for some last chance romance racing.
And this one's going to be a little bit more interesting as we're taking the top 4 out of this and 14 on the racetrack. So get set as that pace car makes the exit. They're picking it up out of number 4 corner. And a great jump by the 93, but not enough to get away.
Oh, 86 around.
80.
Big wreck. Big wreck.
Oh, I believe that was Cassidy that was upside down. It is the 13 of David Cassidy was doing a little bit of a somersault there. So some of our top drivers here in the top 4 wrecking right off the start.
Holy moly, as
Holy tangly.
Holy tangly, as there's a whole bunch of tangly going on.
She's tangled.
She's everybody's tangled here. we're actually going to jump up to the blimp view here for this Shed Life Shed Movers instant replay, but we are still going to give it to you in real time here. We're going to focus in on the 13 car there, the first car, the second car there on the inside line, and you can see they kind of woed up for the start, waiting for the green flag to drop. Pace car, you see, just barely dips on down, waiting, green, green, green. There we go.
Oh, our leader just did not fire and just had them all checking up almost.
Yep, and there you see the 38 gets into the 86, 13 involved, 19 gets a piece of it, and a couple other cars get a little bit, but looks like the big contenders, the 86, the 13, the 33, get a little bit of involved, but not a prohibitive hit from any of these guys. You can see all three of them were able to grab a gear, get pointed in the right direction. Going to be restarting in the act towards the back of the field here, but it's only lap 4 of 40 here in this consolation race, so anything can happen. And one thing to keep in mind here, boys, is with the restarts and the starts here on iRacing, it's pretty much up to the driver. The driver can restart the race anytime from when you see that pace car dip off pit road to when the flagman actually waves the green flag. So you'll see a lot of guys, and Mike actually made amends to it earlier. Mike Alexander's really good at restarts because he changes it up every single time. But it's pretty much, there's a window, and the driver, the leader of the race at that time, pretty much calls the restart. So it can be any time from when you see that pace car dip onto pit road to when the actual flagman waves the green flag. And there's usually a couple of seconds in there to try and make that happen. But you can see the 3 of the top 5 cars there, the 86, the 13, the 33, they're going to be restarting from the back of the pack here and probably have just a little bit of damage.
Now we're seeing a couple cars from the incident. David Cassidy in front of our leaders there, so I guess they'll get waved around. Tony Wright of the 93 is our leader. Cassidy was involved with that wreck. I think Cassidy probably took most of the wreckage on that. Brandon Tobin is showing 1 lap down because he visited pit road. And we also got Terry Duguay had headed down to pit road. So 40 laps on the board. Some fresh tires and a little bit of splash of fuel might come in handy here, but we are going to go back green flag, Jerry. 93 has the hammer once again.
34 to go as the green flag comes down, and on the outside, John Gahan wasting no time as he picks it up, working his way around the number 93 of Tony Wright. He goes to the high side of the racetrack. He will make it on the big side of the track, and Gahan takes the lead from Wright, and we're only lap number 7.
What a beautiful move by Gahan. You know, he almost slingshot that all the way to the high side on that corner there. One of the only time I've seen that throughout this evening here at Five Flags. So maybe John Gahan has a bit of flavor for us for later on.
He may be holding a little in reserve.
Use it when you need it.
It was a great move. He drove it deep into that corner to take the lead. Now he's just got to hold on to it. But it looks like the number 93 of Tony Wright might be out for another challenge as the 19 Ryan Walsh works his way underneath him.
Yeah, Walsh was picking at him from behind, and it looked like Tony Wright tried to use that outside line, but just did not work with him. Now the 73 now taking over that position, and there's a bit of a battle there as Tony Wright trying to get back down, but he's got Noah Healy there. The 84 of Healy now gets to the bottom of and now picks up that spot, and we've got quite a few drivers as Tony Wright now is hanging out to dry on the outside.
Tony Wright just got left in the dust as they came by on the underneath, and it looks like that car is just super loose. He cannot make it turn down to the bottom of the racetrack. He is on the outside lane. He's watching the freight train go by underneath him, and that is not a happy feeling.
Almost 4 or 5 positions lost just there by getting stuck to the outside. Noah Healy making a beautiful move now in the top 4. Those are the 4 that we will be looking for the main event here for the Tranquility.app main event. So check them out online. Big shout out to Mark Donchermont and their team. We haven't seen Mark Donchermont throughout this heat races, so I believe the Tranquility here tonight will be in the main event from the qualifier earlier on.
And drivers starting to settle it down now as we approach about 1/3 of the way through this Consi race. little bit longer than those earlier heat laps, or heat races rather, so the drivers a little bit more patience now that they've got some running room. Certainly they didn't show a whole lot on that green flag as we ended up with a very early caution. They've taken it from there. It's a great racing right now going on in the middle of the pack that you're getting a great look at here, as now the number 65 of Colin Matthews trying to pick his way back through there.
Looking at the score ticker here, fastest lap on the board
Well, looks
right
like we
now.
got a caution, boys.
Johnny
14's
Gahan
around,
at
111's around.
Oof.
Don't get excited. The pace car's coming.
Hit the pace car.
Somebody's pit crew down there eating ice cream, as it were. We're going to rewind this here and take a look at the Shed Life Shed Movers instant replay. Find out exactly why it is we're under caution. We're going to focus in the 111 and the 14 car, the blue, well, dark blue and cyan-colored blue there. And already big damage on that 14 car. You see, he kind of comes up, hits the wall just a little bit. Oh, well, hang
the
on.
wreck was actually ahead, I believe, at Tony Wright, the 93. They were wrecking in front of him.
So that's
Brandon Tobin and Tony Wright.
1 point against me. So we're going to take a look at the 93 now. And
fired.
I can't be fired. It's my show. Aha, the 86. So we're going to rewind this one more time. We're going to take a look at Brandon Tobin here, as he was in the wall, and there was nowhere for that number 93 car to go. So it looks like he kind of pretty much blocked the racing groove. 86 heads on down into the turn, and no help, just loses the back end of the race car, kind of overcorrects just a little bit, hits the inside wall. 93 gives him a big old tap there. 33, nowhere to go there, and there you see the 111 coming through, as well as that that two-tone blue car coming on through. So big wreck for these guys, and man, halfway through you can see the 86 trying to grab a gear. Doesn't look like he's going anywhere though. So there you see him disappearing off the track and heading on down to pit road. He's calling the tow truck. He is pretty much done for the evening here in the last chance qualifying race, and not going to be able to make it to the big show later on tonight.
And it looked like that 86, please correct me if I'm wrong, it wouldn't be the first time. The 86 looked like he had a little bit of damage even before that. And I wondered if he had a tire going down, because that's what it looked like. The car just didn't respond. It was starting to wiggle all over the track. That's usually a pretty good sign he's got something wrong.
And that's one of the cool things here with iRacing is we do have the tires. They do wear out. The damage kind of wears on the cars and things like that. So it could have been any number of things, and it's really hard to kind of pinpoint here from the booth. But it could have been a tire going down. It could have been damage from earlier wrecks. It could have been pretty much anything. It could have even been, the driver looked over from his computer and saw that the cat was chewing on his computer cables. But it looks like we're doubling up here and the lights are off on the iRacing Mustang pace car.
Bottom line to this discussion, you can't say I was wrong, so I was right.
There you go.
Sure.
I like this guy.
Jerry, unfortunate for Tony Wright, from leading this race to all the way to losing all those positions and then getting caught up in an incident like that. So big shout out to Tony Wright, but unfortunate for him. We are gone back green. John Gahan in full control with Ryan Walsh and the Texaco machine of Dave Horton falling into our top three on lap number 22 of 40. Noah Healy in that transfer spot. So keep an eye on that 84 with John Byron on the outside looking in.
And Byron has definitely got his sights set on that fourth position at the very least, if he can't get it ahead further than that. But the leader, the number 16, John Gahan, showing a lot of muscle as he puts a little bit of distance on that number 19, Ryan Walsh. That 73, Dave Horton, falling into third spot. Looking good, but again, they're keeping a little safe distance. I think they've taken warning from some of those earlier incidents.
I know right now, if I was the 84, I would love to be in that third position, so I would definitely put the hammer down, as he has a full rear view mirror of the 57 of Johnny Byron. You got to go, because with 15 laps on the board, that pressure is only going to get worse. You may see the 84 and 57 try to push up here and apply more pressure right now on the third spot of Dave Horton in that 73 machine.
And Byron already starting to show signs. He's getting to the inside as the 84 of Noah Healy drifts up the racetrack. Byron looking closely. He's trying to set him up as they come around out of turn 4 down that front straightaway. You can see them headed down. And Byron in that number 57 car just marking time. The 84 has some damage. He knows it. He knows the car may not be perfect. He's just looking for the opportunity. But with 13 laps left to go, he hasn't got a lot of time.
Yeah, and we've seen the outside line not really work. The only person we've seen actually use it was John Gahan, who really sent it all the way to the top side and slingshot at that corner. But I don't think you could make that move right now in such close quarter racing. Noah Healy really got to stick to that bottom and kind of pinched Byron and not open that door. But the 84 of Noah Healy really has a lot of pressure now with 11 laps to go.
And the one thing that Byron cannot afford to do is make a mistake. The 100 of Tyler Reed is right behind him. So if he makes a mistake, he's going to lose more than one position. He's going to lose a lot of opportunity.
And that's the thing. Right now, all the top officials right now zeroing in on 84. So you got a lot of eyes on these two cars. So you don't want to take that black flag and go all the way to the back after all this hard work. You got to kind of do it clean here. The 84 of Noah Healy, young bandolero from Newfoundland and Labrador, just 12, I believe, just turned 13 years old. So it's kind of cool with these iRacings. You know, we've got bandos, legends, hobby stocks, pro stock drivers, and even some of the guys down in the United States and super lates running in this series. So it's kind of salt and peppered right throughout all the different variations of racing across Canada and the United States here.
You know what drivers are like. You give them a race car, they're going to get in it. They're not going to let it sit. So if they have the opportunity to race, they'll race.
And I can tell you, some of these bandoleros, Noah Healy's been with us for 4 years, started when he was 9 years old, and this kid is intense. A lot of these bando kids are probably even more intense than some of the pro stock drivers that I've met in the past. So props to the 84 right now, holding off that John Byron car of 57. He's got 6 laps to go. He is on the edge of that seat trying to hang on. They are closing the gap on that Texaco machine of the 73 of Dave Horton. Horton is going to have to try to protect that spot as Byron and Noah Healy coming together. Oh, there's that contact we were talking about. That is going to wreck the 84. And 5 laps to go. We're going to have a shootout here, but I think the storyline has been told.
Well, we could see that one coming. We just kept watching it. Byron was just putting the pressure on Healy, something fierce, trying to get him to make a mistake and just trying to give him a little bump in the corner to push him up the racetrack. And, well, it just didn't work out quite the way he planned.
And it's unfortunate here at the TCM. It's a no-fault caution, so it's probably going to be both of them going to the field. So we'll see what the call is here from Tim Terry in the production booth as we look at the replay here.
You see the 57 taps him, and there's a second tap after he hits the wall. Sends him on up into the outside a couple of times there. A couple of big hits. He's able to grab a gear and put it in the right direction, so that's always good news. But we'll see what these guys restack coming up here on the last couple of laps.
You know, John Byron, about 15 laps trying to get around the 84, so I can only imagine the frustration when you're trying to get into the event. And, you know, the 84 was doing a fabulous job holding the line there on the bottom. You know, unfortunately, sometimes it just comes in too much close quarters, and the result is what we just seen.
You can only do so much defensive driving. You got to be very much aware that if somebody's giving you a little bump in the back, that usually means they're quicker. And you can try and hold them up, but that usually doesn't work out so well.
I don't know if there was any earlier contact between the two, but they were pretty close together. So we're seeing.
Maybe the spotter just forgot to tell him.
Yeah. Move over. No thanks. It's almost like trying to stay on the lead lap and the leaders are coming through. Give her, buddy.
Make him take it.
So we're just looking now at the scoring.
3 to go.
We got 2 cars down laps. Terry Duguay down 2 laps. So Dave Cassidy in the 13th position. So we are getting set. Looks like we'll have a green, white checkered. Lights are still on that Pace Mustang. John Gahan having a beautiful race power move on Tony Wright. I believe that was lap number 2, I believe. But our top 4 right now, John Gahan, Ryan Walsh, Dave Horton, and John Byron has scored his 4th place, so they did not throw the black flag at him. So strange.
Oh, he didn't really hit him.
He hit him 4 times.
Maybe not in the eyes of the. Oh, never mind.
I'm not a producer, so.
No, don't want to be.
Well,
This is going to be interesting with this shootout because Ryan Walsh, the only thing he has to gain by getting around the 16 of Gahan is a better starting spot. The top 4 are going to the big show, so you want to get there, but you want to get there safe.
he's got to time it to dip down, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to get away with him, and Ryan Walsh doing an amazing job with that timing of that restart. And look at that, Johnny Byron is on the side of the go machine of Dave Horton to the bottom, but there's contact there. Got a couple of cars loose, and cars are wrecking, but they managed to squeeze it together. 84 trying to get around Colin Matthews, contact with the wall with the 84.
As we said, those top 4 knew that what they had to do was bring it home. And that's what they did, stayed out of trouble.
Flashing bulbs, John Gahan will take the checkers. Big position in the main event for our first LCQ. Ryan Walsh in the 19 takes position number 2. Dave Horton in the 73 and the 57 of John Byron making the move to the transition here. And we are getting set for the main event for Tranquility.app. Check them out online. But before we get into this main event, please rise for your Canadian national anthem.
Okay, folks, we'll get ready for the national anthem here. If you're able to, would you please rise for singing of O Canada?
O Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all of us command. Quatre ombres et porte l'épée, il sait porter la croix.
From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land. Glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Drivers, start your engines.
Well, Jerry. Well, Jerry, that is the beautiful Canadian mashup that Tim Terry has put together from all the different tracks in Atlantic Canada. We are ready for an All-Star Showcase Open. Some of these drivers will be making it to the All-Star race on Thursday night. Are you ready for some big-time racing? We haven't seen our top drivers here. Our top 4 qualified earlier, so we're going to see Brandon Campbell, Cole Butcher in the main event here.
Well, this will be interesting. I think whenever I see Cole Butcher in the front row, if there's a guy that's hard to pass, it's him. And so I think we're going to see some great races. It's definitely the guys who want the victory are all in the ring. They're all here, and they're all near the front. So it's going to get tense. That's a good word. We'll use that one.
Well, a lot of people want to get into this final All-Star Showcase on Thursday, so I know this is going to be pretty intense when we get to the final 10 laps. A couple of drivers we did not see. Mark D'Entremont earlier on. He's had a great season here. Just a little info on Cole Butcher. Cole Butcher is actually quite new to iRacing. Some of these guys have been iRacing for 5 or 7 years. A lot of drivers since the COVID-19 had occurred had just picked up the iRacing. So Cole Butcher new to it, so hopefully he can hang on for a big win here tonight. Jerry, we are gridding here, and Cole Butcher will get the pole. He will be starting on the inside, and he'll have the 90. Brandon Campbell, if you want to get through the rest of it.
I'll give her a shot. We have a look and just make sure I got the right lineup on my screen before I get going, because otherwise I can send them all on my own. So as I mentioned, Cole Butcher in the 53, the 99 of Brandon Campbell starting on that row. On row number 2, Keith McClellan will start to the inside with Riley Duncan in the number 97 to his outside. Inside of row number 3, the 5, Craig Tully beside him, the number 8, Evan Osborne. Starting on the inside, row number 4, driving the number 21 is Roger Down. Mark Dunkermont in the 77 will complete the top 8. Starting 9th on the inside of row number 5, the 75 is Scott Alexander. The number 10, or 10th spot rather, the 141 of Richard Brigg. Ken Burbridge in the 00 will start 11th. Beside him, the number 44 of Russell Smith. On the inside of row number 7, Caden Tufts in the 88. On the outside, the 38 of Travis Roma. Mark Williams will pilot the 42 from the inside of row number 8. Starting 16th, the number 2 of
Todd Cousins. Campbell Delaney will take the number
9. And on the outside, the 41 of Jason Cox. Devin Smith will drive the number 94. The 27 of Matt Watson starting 20th. That is the top 10 rows. John DeHaan in the number 16 starting 21st. And to his outside, the number 19 of Ryan Walsh. Rounding out the field, the number 73, Dave Horton, and the 57 of John Byron.
Wow. This is it. We are now set to get things going here at Five Flags in Pensacola, Florida. It is the Tranquility.app main event. Check them out online, Tranquility.app. Pace car's gone, Mustang's off. Here we go. Cole Butcher with the hammer. And look at that. The 99, Brandon Campbell, sees it and jumps in there. Keith Mack in the Bud Light car tries in there for the 3rd spot. He's got Riley Duncan in the 97 for your top 4.
And it didn't take them long to start into single file. Everybody trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack as those top 5 cars run right along the pit wall and hugging that white line, trying to stay out of trouble early. Cole Butcher sets the pace in that number 53 with Campbell right in behind him in that 99. It's starting to look like a little bit of a freight train, but boy, it's a fast one.
Well, half mile here in Pensacola. We got 125 laps on the board here this evening. It's a night race, and it's about 80 degrees out, so track asphalt has gotten a little bit hotter after all these heat races. So what they've seen earlier on, we're probably seeing quite a little bit of a different race surface that these drivers are used to. So it'll be interesting to see if we see some too wide racing once we get closer to the finish here. But we have a caution here on lap number 4, and we'll see from our good friend Showtime Paul as we get a bit of a caption here to see what the storyline is.
Yeah, just kind of sifting through the field right now, trying to see where the mishap may very well have been. We'll load up the Shed Life Shed Movers instant replay here.
27, Matt Watson on pit road.
See if we can back this up just a skosh. Aha.
There's the smoke.
There's the smoke and the mirrors. See if we can't get a car number out of that.
Nope. Is that Caden
Caden Tufts maybe
88?
in the 88? Yes, it is. Look at that. My eyes aren't as bad as I thought they were. So we're going to rewind this just a little bit more, and we will give it to you here on the Shed Life Shed Movers instant replay, and we'll give it to you in real time. Focus in on the 88, and you can see he's down low. And, the 44 hits the wall and just comes back down into the low side. Unfortunately, collects the 27, the 94, and the 16, I believe it was, in that baby blue car. So tough break for the 88. Big damage on the front side of that race car. Some big damage in the right front as well. So gotta bet he's gonna come down pit road. Maybe a little bit too early to use that reset, but definitely gonna be able to kind of work on some of that virtual sheet metal damage there in the 88 car.
And that'll be a tough break for the number 16. of John Gahan, who worked so hard in that Consi race to earn a spot, and in the very early going, that contact is not going to make that car faster.
No, the 88 of Caden Tufts, young Bandolero driver from Nova Scotia. Lots of damage on that 88, so I'm surprised I'm not seeing him on pit road working away at that damage. I know he's been down once already. They're going to score him one lap, but we've seen a lot of times early contact like this with big damage. You can get through this race, especially if you at the tail of the race you go down for two tires and a bit of damage. Corey Hall was one of them about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Big damage on lap number 3, and by the time it came back 150 laps, he had a brand new car.
The one thing iRacing can offer that hard-fought racing on asphalt cannot: fast repairs.
It is real time. They do have to bang it out there. So if you're not careful, you can get stuck down there on pit road. So I think some of these drivers have spotters and a crew chief. So sometimes it's difficult to do that while you're driving. But we are ready to go again. The 53 gets the hammer, and the 9 Campbell reacts just in perfect fashion. And Keith McClellan to the bottom here, trying to close that door on the 99. Well, Campbell still stuck on the outside, making it too wide. Does pinch down to the bottom here and will tuck in. But look at that. Cole Butcher goes to the bottom. A little crossover action by 99 of Campbell.
But Cole Butcher in that 53 going to fight it back on the outside, down that back straightaway. He's not giving up an inch as he works the high side of the racetrack. Campbell in that 99 trying to make the low side of the racetrack work, but it's Butcher who now gets around him, tucks back down in front of him. The number 30 of Keith McClellan going to the outside, going to try and make that work. Not such a good idea, as he'll dip down again in that 3rd spot.
Little contact with the wall for the Bud Light machine of Keith Mack, the 30 machine, but still maintains that position in 3rd place. Look at Craig Tully in the 5 with lots of pressure on the 97, trying to make a go of it here, and Tully looking to the inside, but the door is closed by the 97 of Riley Duncan.
And that front 5 really setting on quick paces. I look down the scoring here. They're under 16 seconds, all of them, and starting to pull away just a little bit. That side-by-side racing between the number 8 of Evan Osborne and the 141. I believe that was. No, wrong again. Try to get 21. Roger down. Those two side-by-side might be holding up a couple of other cars behind them.
That 8 car of Evan Osborne's been pretty hot over our last couple of races. So Evan Osborne to the bottom now, pushes Roger down to the bottom. But keep an eye on that 141, Irrational Richard, maybe looking to make it 3 wide here as he comes in for a dance with the 8 and the 21.
And the 8 and the 21 continuing that side-by-side battle. Rational Richard in the 141.
Might start losing a little patience, but he was slow early in the race. He may let them try and sort it out. He'd be happy if they exchanged it with one another and left him out of the fight. He'd rather just drop down underneath and go by.
Roma was testing the outside line on the 00, but we got the 15 around. Scott Alexander is wrecking. No green or no caution just yet, just one car, single car. He does manage to collect himself to 15, having some damage there. Mark D'Entremont may have also been involved. He is on pit road now as well.
Yeah, that just looked like a little bit of racing contact that turned the 15 of Alexander around it.
Definitely not a lot of damage on that 15, I don't think, but he did manage to get it back to pit road.
Now, single or 2 car caution, the producers probably won't always throw the caution here. It is not simulated cautions. They do have control of the yellow here, but they have let it go. We are now at lap 21 of 125 for the Tranquility.app main event. 125 laps on the board. And our leaders, Brandon Campbell, Cole Butcher has fallen back 2 spots.
Yeah, they worked him pretty hard, and they see Cole is in that 53 car. Looks like he's just a little bit, I don't want to say he's not as smooth as I've seen him, but he is definitely fighting that car just a little bit as Campbell and McClellan get out in front of him. And he's now trying to keep pace, but he may be just learning the line around Five Flags Speedway.
Campbell has been super hot over the last couple of weeks and has had some big runs, almost a couple of wins, actually. I believe one race he ran out of fuel and just couldn't get to the end and did not get down pit road and played a factor. A lot of these races, you know, pit road becomes a major factor, especially if you're pitting under green flag situations. Some of these guys do not carry a crew chief with them, and they're trying to do both, you know, drive and select things for pit road. It becomes very difficult. Some of the top teams that we've seen in these TCM events will come with a spotter and a crew chief managing the car throughout the race.
Luxuries. Meanwhile, this battle is starting to heat up between the 97, Wiley Duncan, and the 5, Greg Tully, as they run back in 4th and 5th. Tully starting to put a lot of pressure on that 97 car, just staying on him enough to make sure that if he does make a mistake, he's there to take advantage of it, but he is closing that gap pretty solid.
Well, just over 1/5 of the way here. Fastest car on the track was Cole Butcher with a 15.9 flat, but Keith McClellan in that Bud Light machine was only slower by 1/1000th of a second.
And those top three continuing. Those top three are something else to watch. The top two, actually, Campbell and McClellan, running a great line around this speedway. They're right on the white line. The left side of the car just hugs that bottom of the racetrack. They're able to hold that line, keep the speed up, and caution, I see, is out once again.
Looks like the 2 and the 8. Oh, backs into the 88 of Tufts. He got into it a little bit earlier on, and well, you see the 15, the Haviland car. Holy moly, I guess we're going to have to back this up a little bit further than what we saw here on the Shed Life Shed Movers instant replay. And it's got to be one of those replays we got to watch from the blimp view, because it looks like there was a lot of action going on here as we're just kind of rewinding the tapes here. And again, as always, we'll give it to you in real time. The 8 car's on the outside, the 38 is on the inside, and we'll see exactly what went down. It looks like the 38 mate came up, caught the quarter of the 8. Boom, 42 gets it. 73 is already wrecked for some reason. 2 gets involved. 27 and the 9, they sneak on by. The 19 sneaks on by as well. Looks like there's just a hole there for everybody else to go through. But unfortunately, when the 8 car goes to back up, he catches the nose of the 88 car. So that's going to be some big-time front-end damage for the 88 car, Caden Tufts. But it looks like everybody's able to grab a gear, get down on their own power. We'll see if they use a reset or if they come down pit road to try and use some of the virtual repairs on some of that sheet metal.
Well,
that was a tough break for Travis Roma, that number 38. He had a good run going, just being patient, staying out of trouble as best he could, and suddenly there it was. It just jumped right at him. It looked a lot like the, it was that 88 car that just, where we thought maybe 38 had gone up. It almost looked more like the 88 came down just that little bit, got caught. Spotter's not doing his job tonight.
he's fired, like Paul.
Gone.
Well, we have 17 cars still on the lead lap. The 44 of Russell Smith is our last car on the lead lap in 17th position in the 44 machine. So Todd Cousins would be the next recipient if he stays in that position for the lucky dog. The 2 car down 1 lap, as well as Evan Osborne and Scott Alexander.
Well, with only 34 laps on the board, there is a chance to make those laps back up. You just got to be in the right place at the right time, though, because the chances of actually passing the leader are not particularly good.
Well, I got a funny feeling this will not be our last caution.
Really?
specifically once we get to the final 20 laps. This could be a long one here tonight as everybody vying for the big event this Thursday. And a big shout out to some of our sponsors, Tranquility.app. Check them out online. Amazing company supporting short track racing here in Atlantic Canada. Mustang is off. Here we go. Campbell gets a really good jump there, times it perfectly, and Keith McClellan a little bit delayed there. Really opens up that door for the 53 of Cole Butcher as he really pinches Keith McClellan all the way to the top here. What a battle door to door to 30 and 53, Jerry.
And the 30 car of McClellan pinching the 53 down to the bottom of the racetrack. You can see the two left wheels went actually over the white line. That was just a little thank you for pushing me towards the wall earlier. But Butcher looked like he was going to get a good run from the inside to take over. The second couldn't do it. McClellan is just that much stronger. So Butcher will settle back into third spot. But that battle they had, that allowed Campbell to put about 3 car lengths on the 30 car of McClellan.
Well, just a couple of race ago in Oxford Plains, the 53 really was the only car on the track that was making it work on the outside. And how he was actually doing that was pinching the bottom car and being able to get a little bit of that grip on the bottom and really slingshotting the 53 machine around that bottom car.
Didn't work so well tonight. But it's a long way to go. He's not done yet. We are 40 laps into this 125-lap feature race. And right now, Brandon Campbell in that number 99, it's his control. He is the leader of this one. Keith McClellan in the 30 car, then the 53 of Butcher. Billy Duncan in that number 97 sits back in 4th spot. The 5 of Craig Tully rounding up the top 5. Right behind him, Rashford Richard Drake in that 141. And I wouldn't count Richard out of this one yet. He may be just saving a little race car for later on.
Yeah, and that 38 of Travis Roma and Jason Goss in the 41. Trying to come up there now in the top 10 with Tam Woolridge and Roger Down back there. So everybody vying for that big showcase on Thursday. Jason Goss, part of the DC Auto team. DC Auto, big shout out to them for presenting the Oxford 500 week. They were on the last 3 races, so had a good run last night as one of their teammates, Nicholas Codner from Torbay, Newfoundland and Labrador, took the big event in Talladega. So big shout out to DC Auto and their team here tonight here at the Five Flags.
And it looks like some of the drivers finally settling down as we see a little bit of space. Drivers slowly gathering up that race car, maybe just trying to let those tires cool down after that early go. But as we mentioned, with an 80-degree temperature and a lot of rubber on the racetrack, it's going to be a little bit slick out there, so they'll try to save it up as much as they can.
We're just going to check in with Paul if we can get track conditions displayed here for us. I would say it's probably changed quite a bit since we started. 88?
84 degrees.
84 degrees right now.
Okay. Oh, there.
Oh, it says it's sunny and it's dark. Wind speed at 2 miles per hour. Jerry, they got it all here on the...
Wind is definitely not a factor here tonight. As we watch that number 97 machine of Riley Duncan as he leads that short freight train, and he is definitely feeling the pressure from the number 5 of Craig Tully.
That 141 Richard Rational Drake in the Laker News machine, trying to make it a 3-way dance here. Not sure how a 3-way dance goes, but could get a little tangly.
And then again, there may be just that little bit of patience. I know drivers don't have a lot of it, so he may be just using a little of that right now, because looks like the 5 and the 97 are going to have their own little scrap here shortly, because the 5 of Craig Tully looks like he's getting a little frustrated with that number 97, which just seems to be blocking his progress.
Yeah,
the 97 drifting up and down the racetrack, just frustrating that number 5 machine.
5, almost a little scrub off the back, but we're on board right now with Craig Tully as he sizes up that 97 machine of Riley Duncan. As we come around this corner, look at this, the 97 drifting a little bit up to the top here. Craig Tully trying to judge if you should go to the bottom or take him to the high side.
And watching from the in-car, it looks like Tully's a little bit better in turns 1 and 2, able to get down to the bottom of the racetrack. But in the turn 3 and 4, watching now the number 97 of Duncan this time, yep, he is able to pull it down to the bottom of the track in 3 and 4. So if you're going to see the move from Tully, it's going to happen in 1 and 2.
And Richard Rational Drake back there, the Laker News Machine, just has a front row seat to all the action between the 97 and hoping that both of them come together and give him 2 easy spots.
And it looks like he's going to pick up one right now as he goes to the outside, putting the number 5 of Tully down on the bottom of the racetrack. And I don't know if Tully looks like he may just have slipped for a step. And that's what it took for Rational Richard to put the 141 around him as he works his way through turns 1 and 2, trying to secure that spot. Tully fighting back on the bottom as they chase down the number 97 of Riley Duncan. And now this battle is starting to really heat up in a battle for that 5th position. But it's Rational Richard who puts the 141 in front. He's up into that number 5 spot, trying to chase down the 97 of Duncan for that transfer position.
With 125 laps on the board, half a mile track here at Five Flags, Pensacola. The big question here is, will they have and fuel to get the distance? We've seen drivers like the 75 of Mike Alexander going the full distance and finishing a race with 0.1 of a tank of fuel. So the window, when you get out to the outside for a couple of laps, like we just seen with the 141, it kind of chews up those tires. And so the more battles that Richard faces here is going to be a factor once we get to the conclusion of this race in the final 10 laps.
And it pretty much looked like he waited for his moment, just the right moment to make that pass. It took him a couple of laps, but didn't use up a whole lot, I don't think, in doing it. Didn't have a battle there with Tully, but he managed to get around him cleanly. So we'll see now if he can set his sights on that number 97 of Duncan, if he can reel him in, because this is where he's going to wear the car out if he's got to do a lot of chasing to make up that ground.
So right now, our top 15 have not visited pit road. The only one on pit road in the top 16 was Russell Smith in the 44 machine. He had checked in for 37 seconds, probably got 4 fresh rubbers just there earlier on. So that is one to watch for. The 16 Russell Smith probably is within the window to make it last. Big question, like I said, will this be a green flag pit stop here?
The driver's hoping no. Absolutely not. He doesn't want to come in. We'll see how if the crew chief makes the call.
And, you know, we've seen stuff like at the Bull Ring in Las Vegas where, you know, one team takes 2, the other team takes 4, and the 4 tire combo actually won the race. You know, 2 tires just enough, but, you know, in certain situations with, you know, 10 laps to go, we've seen people like Corey Hall with a little bit of a different strategy and take the big checker flag at a big win. So we will see that once we get close to it. We are almost halfway here, 65 laps. We are past cross flags. 65 completed of the 125 for Tranquility.app. We are on board with our leader, the 99 of Brandon Campbell, who has led 51 laps. And his fastest lap tonight, a 15:93. That is one of the quickest ones. Cole Butcher does have that record at 15:9 flat. So he started second and now currently in first. What a run here by the 90 on some lap traffic, Jerry.
And that always causes a little bit of hold your breath moments as you try to get through that lap traffic, because if the driver decides not to move over out of the way, you've got to find a safe way around him, because every delay means somebody's getting that much closer.
Well, he just blew by Dave Horton in that Texaco 73. But we have a caution here on lap 68 as the 44 and the 27 and several cars now with damage. We're going to check in with our Showtime, Paul Strickland.
Man, oh man, we had a long green flag run going there, and unfortunately it has come to an end. I see the 27 car is involved. We'll see exactly what went down under caution here. We'll give it to you in real time here for the Shed Life Shed Movers instant replay. And we're going to press play and see where we end up, because I know the 27 was definitely involved. towards the end of it. You can see he's on the outside of the 42 and the 57, and the 16 in there as well. 42 moves up the track, and the caution's out at this point in time. Everybody kind of slowing down already. And it looks like the 27 might have been trying to dip on down to pit road there, so that wasn't what brought the caution out, I don't believe. Let's see if we can kind of quick step through the field and find out where that caution made it come out have.
And look at that, boys. Everybody's going down pit road.
Well, rather than me making an idiot out of myself trying to find where the wreck was, let's take a look at the action on pit road, shall we?
Our leaders, and only one staying out right now is Tanton Woolridge. And there's that car, Jerry, I was talking about. Russell Smith has decided to stay out as he was in that pit situation earlier on. I think Paul could probably let us know what lap Russell Smith went down, but Russell Smith now is entering pit road again, so I guess he didn't feel he had enough to make it work here, but Tanton Woolridge is the only one not visiting pit road right now.
And again, that different strategy playing out. We'll see how that works for him, because Russell Smith, when he got in that earlier accident right at the outset of this race, he had to go in and make some changes. The question is, did he get enough of them made? Did they make the right ones? And he may have used up some tires already, so he'd like to have 4 fresh Mr. Feelgoods on that car, make him a whole bunch more confident of getting back to the front.
Now, the big question is Tanton Woolridge not visiting. Not sure what the strategy is for Tanton, if he's hoping that there's going to be another caution, which highly probable. But Brandon Campbell with those 4 fresh Goodyears. He had a 40-second lap time or pit stop, so he's got 4 fresh ones on. Campbell will be on that outside line, and we've seen Campbell with some beautiful moves here on starts. When he took on Cole Butcher. Does Campbell have it? One car that will be a little bit benefit is the 53 of Cole Butcher on the inside of row number 2, as if he can stay close to the 0-0 and close that window for the 99, not able to drop down, you could probably see Cole Butcher as our next leader. Interesting to see what happens here. Lights are out on that Mustang, Jerry. We are going to get back to go. 0-0 Tanton Woolridge will have the hammer here.
We got 52 laps of racing about to go as the police car pulls off to the safety of the infield at 0-0. Tanton Woolridge picks it up, goes to the outside. That was something I hadn't expected to see. Campbell immediately falls in behind him.
Now, Woolridge had a strategy there, was let's push everybody up to the top and see how this sticks. But he is actually, it's working for him right now as he maintains that lead. Campbell in that position number 2, and look at the battle for position number 3, the 30 of Keith Mack trying to slide down to the bottom in front of the 53. We got some activity going on here in the top 6.
And it's like they all know Cole Butcher can drive. He's got a good car. They're keeping an eye on him. They want to keep him behind them because he can be tough to pass. But right now, the guy that's going to be really hard is Brandon Campbell, because that car has simply been strong all night long, and it looks like he is just going to start stretching out the lead as the rest of them try to sort out this little battle for who's going to come next.
And that is the case of 4 fresh ones now. Tanton Woolridge not visiting pit row. That's not going to work out, as we're seeing him fall back quite significantly now, as the 97 of Rodney Duncan now gets around the 0-0 of Tanton Woolridge. Woolridge falling back now without those 4 fresh ones.
You can watch Woolridge run. That car's just super loose on those old tires. He does not have the grip he needs to stay on the bottom, which is where everybody else is running on those 4 fresh tires. They've got lots of grip at the bottom of the racetrack. That seems to be the best way around.
Now, Travis Roma on pit road. The 38 car was down 2 laps. He has visited pit road. Not a good night for the 38 machine. Travis Roma, who's been super hot over the last couple of months. So unfortunately for Travis, we are probably not going to see him in the Thursday night All-Star race. So big well wishes to Travis and all your successes over the last couple of months.
But it's Keith McCullen in that 30 car who's continuing to lead Cole Butcher in that battle for second spot. They are nose to tail making their way around turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway, down the front straightaway now to 3 and 4, as they continue to make their way around. Butcher putting a little pressure on that number 30 machine of Keith Mack, trying to get him to make some sort of mistake, just a little wobble enough to let him either get, and I'm going to say go for the inside. I don't think he wants to try the high side of the racetrack. And as I say it, there he goes.
Yeah, Cole Butcher probably testing out a couple of different racing grooves here, trying to figure this out. But we have a caution here on lap number 83. It looks like Dave Horton has been towed. We're looking at Dave Horton, the 73 on pit road. We're going to check in with our good buddy Paul Showtime Strickland, as it's also the 73 down on pit road as well.
Yeah, we'll see if we can't pull up what the reason for the caution was. You saw the 73, as you made mention, down there on pit road, but I'm going to back up the old instant replay machine here, see if we can find out where the tangliness came from.
That wasn't very Irish.
I thought it was Canadian.
What?
Just taking a look here, trying to sift on through. I'm not seeing anybody pointed in the wrong direction just yet. Sifting on through the tapes here, the magic of technology, we can kind of sift through where the wreck may or may not have been, and we're just kind of waiting for that to pop up on our screens here, but not seeing anybody out of shape here on lap 85. May have backed it up just a little bit here, so we'll give it a second. That might be the blue car there. I believe that might be Alexander in the blue car that's out of shape. I think it was the 15 car, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, I lied. 16. See if we can pull up the 16 cars replay here. A little bit difficult to kind of sift through the different camera angles here. So you can see John Gahan is actually retired from the race. So here we go. Looks like we may have something here. We're going to take a look. We're going to focus in on the baby blue car, the 16 car. That's going to be John Gahan, and for some reason that car just quits. He shoots up onto the outside wall and retires from the race. Shoots himself on down to pit road. So doesn't look like he got any help or anything like that. Just unfortunately lost the car, shot up on the outside wall. So man, it's hard to tell what that was. That could have been anything. It could have been anything from something in the inside of the iRacing. You see, scrapes the wall just a kiss there. Comes on down the next lap, and he's just kind of stuck on the outside, and almost looks like the car just kind of gave up on him. And then he resets
gone back
the pit
to
road.
1988.
Yeah.
It's Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox dipping on back to 1988 for some reason. So
That
tough.
was a good year, man.
It's just the year I was born, to be completely honest. But tough break there for the 16 of John Gahan, and
We're not going to talk about how old me and Jerry are, but Jerry's way older.
you guys are like what, 30 something?
Who?
No, I don't know. Whoever.
We're old.
I'll take that.
Yes, we're 33.
Flashbulbs all over the crowd there. It looks like we're already going back to green flag racing, as not giving us any kind of breaks here. We're going to take a look. I don't know why the cameras are all jacked up. Here we go. Brandon Campbell out front. Keith McClegg, that Bud Light Blue machine, in second. The 53 of Cole Butcher is in third, as they look like they're single file for the top 5 cars.
35 laps to go, Jerry, and we finally got the 0-0 down pit road. Tampa Woolridge now in 15th position, has visited pit road, but unfortunately it's after paying for it now, as he's got quite a lot of spots to make up here. But he does have the freshest tires on the track here for that 0-0.
We'll see how well he can make them work when he gets back out onto the racetrack. But right now, Brandon Campbell making his tires work really well as he leads the way. Behind him, that 30 of Keith Mack and the 53 Cole Butcher. Those front 3 setting quite a pace. A little bit of a gap back to the 4th spot with Riley Duncan. Radical Richard. Rational Richard in that number 141.
Another caution has been thrown here.
Hey.
And like I said, cautions breed cautions, so we will check in with Showtime Paul once again.
Man, oh man.
Who killed JR?
Who killed JR? Not even sure who JR is, but it was probably up to him. We'll take a look at the Shed Life Shed Movers instant replay. We'll see if we can kind of sift through the tapes and find out exactly why it is we are under caution here for the, well, first or second time.
Never heard of a television show called Dallas?
Who?
The television show Dallas?
There's the bump.
I see a bump.
I saved you on the Dallas.
Saved me on the Dallas. We're going to actually take a look here from the onboard view of the number 73 machine of Dave Horton. As Horton definitely heard a who, calamity or tangliness up in front of him. He's able to get on the binders and kind of goes on the low of the rack. That wasn't very exciting, now was it? We'll back that up just a little bit and show you exactly what went down. On the outside of the number 73 car, you can see the 21 car is big time involved here. So we'll switch over to the Roger down camera angle here. And you can see there's a couple of cars pointed in the very wrong direction. So, and it looks like it actually did start with the 21 car. And coming out of the corner here, looks like he heads on down, gets a little bit of a bump there from the 41. That gray machine there spins himself around 180. The double R gets a spin around. He gets a bump. He shoots on up and makes contact with the 21. The 27's there. 73 gets a little piece of it as well. So lots of action there on that caution, but looks like we're going to get everybody pointed in the right direction. Jumping back out front, Brandon Campbell still leads. Keith McClellan, that Bud Light number 30, we've seen him, he's been strong pretty much all year long since March. He's running second right now, so pretty good racing up front.
He's got a nickname that he doesn't like. It's Daddy Mac. Keith McClellan. Originally in the server, he was down as Keith Mac. We just started calling him Daddy Mac, so I'm not sure if he likes it, but he's Daddy Mac tonight. The 30 car, Keith McClellan, got the opportunity on the outside if he can time it, but the inside of row number 2, Cole Butcher, will have a little bit of an advantage behind Brandon Campbell, who's been super hot on these starts.
Keep an eye on Butcher to see if he can read the start as well as Campbell's been pretty consistent at jumping up, so we'll see if Cole can keep an eye on it, pick it up at the right moment. Spinning the leader is never a really good thing. As base car heads off to the infield, here we come. Green is back, and once again, Campbell gets that great start, and it doesn't take Keith Mack long to drop it down inside as he picks up that second spot. Cole Butcher back to third, and then in fourth, the 97 to Duncan. I think we've sung this song before.
Yeah, on repeat. The 97 of Riley Duncan showing some strong moves. The 53 of Butcher. But look at that battle going on with Rational Richard. That's the 141 and the 15 of Scott Alexander. Now, one note for all the fans at home. The 15 car was down pit road when Tanton Woolridge went down, so he has the freshest tires in our top 8, but we are now seeing another caution here on lap 100 of 125. 25 to go here, Jerry. I'd say we're probably going to see another couple here.
Oh, I don't have any doubt about that. We can see the intensity has picked up somewhat, so these guys are definitely putting it all out there, and we'll see. How many more cautions? How many cautions can you do in 25 laps?
25.
At least one.
I'm going to go with that. I think we'll get 3 more.
Jerry has taken 3 for $20. I'm taking 4.
And you'll probably take my $20, so don't worry about it.
Case of beer.
Got us a little bit of action here. It's a little bit difficult as we get a few cars, fewer and fewer cars here on the lead lap. That gives us the opportunity here. But it looks like the 57 of John Byron's involved here. We'll give it to you in the Shed Life Shed Movers instant replay. We're actually going to switch on over to the blimp view to make sure we don't miss anything. And we're going to focus in on that black and green car there, number 57, as he was definitely involved. Not sure exactly what went down. Looks like he had to avoid the 44 and the 27 and didn't really avoid him there. So we're going to pull up Matt Watson in the 27 and find out what may have started this. Looks like that 41, that gray machine, gets on down low, gives him a little bit of boop, sends the 27 around. The 44 tries to avoid it, and he gets a bumper full of the 57 car. 27 looks like he grabs a gear and, well, shoots himself down onto the inside wall and then hits the tow button. So, tough break for him. It looks like he's going to be done for the evening. At the very least, going to be restarting a couple of laps down here, but back up front, still Brandon Campbell, Keith McClellan, Cole Butcher, Riley Duncan, and Rational Richard Drake in the top 5.
Some pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's what starts happening though when the guys in the back start fighting it out and have a little bit mishap. Next thing is take me to pit road. I'm done. So
hit the tow button.
Yeah.
Here in iRacing, they don't have to wait for the tow trucks. They just hit a button. But we have lights out, and Jerry the Mustang is getting ready and set to leave and exit here. The 99 of Brandon Campbell will have the hammer with Keith McClellan to the outside. Once again, we're seeing the same storyboard, the 53 on the inside, with that Riley Duncan and the 97 to the out.
There goes the pace car to the infield, and Campbell right on the gas as quickly as the pace car got out of the way. It doesn't take McClellan long to do the same thing, but Butcher on the inside this time decided it was go time. He gets up on the gas. He's right behind the 99 of Campbell, and now McClellan will fall back into third. A side-by-side battle shaping up in that next fight between the 97 of Riley Duncan and the 15 of Scott Alexander.
And like I said just earlier, before we got to this caution on lap 100, Scott Alexander does have the freshest tires, but he's got a whole pile of pressure coming from the 141 machine of Richard Drake.
Those fresher tires may pay off. He's been able to pick his way up through the field as he now is in striking distance for that fourth and final qualifying position. He's just got to find a way to get around the 97 of Riley Duncan, and that's not going to be easy. Duncan is putting on quite a fight here as the top three start to pull away.
Well, with 17 to go as we get down to 16 laps to go, spotters are now screaming in the driver's ears. It's time to go. That 15 trying to get around the 97 of Riley Duncan to try to make it a game changer. But we are top three as pulling away Brandon Campbell in the 99 and Butcher and McClellan starting to separate from that battle for fourth.
And that battle between the top two looks like it's about to.
99 and the 53 respectively. But that battle for third is, or fourth rather, is where the fight is right now because those three drivers are not willing to give an inch. Alexander trying to find a way around the number 97 of Duncan, and Rational Richard in the 141 just marking time in between. He's going to pick his fight when the moment comes, but with just 14 to go, his time is coming quick.
That next caution could be caused by that position with that battle of Scott Alexander and the 97 of Duncan throughout the evening. That pressure is intensifying as it looks like the 15 is the quicker car, but Riley Duncan not wanting to give up the spot with just 12 laps to go here. But our leader still single file, Brandon Campbell, Butcher, McClellan all together. We are now on board the 15 of Scotty Alexander as he sizes up that 97, trying everything to get around him and then throw out that reel to try to catch the leaders here.
Alexander looking underneath, trying to get below the 97 of Duncan, but Duncan comes back down the racetrack, slams the door right in his face, not to give him that opportunity. Rational Richard in the 141 looking, but he's so far stayed about a car length back. I think he's just giving himself a little room in case something happens between the other two.
10 laps to go here. Going to be counting down to 9 as they come around here in 3 and 4. Your leader, then Brandon Campbell, is going to have full control here with pressure from Cole Butcher and Keith McClellan, but 9 laps to go, and that battle still intensifies with the 15 as Scott Alexander tries to drop to the bottom once again, but the 97 slamming the door.
And Riley Duncan realizing he has got to put that thing down on the bottom and hold it there, where the 15 will come in. Now here comes the 15 again, looking to get inside. This time he gets the nose inside that left rear quarter panel. but Duncan drives away from them as they go down the front straightaway. Oh,
What
contact.
is the rule of fun? Oh, we have contact. The 97 coming around. Oh, and that is just nasty.
The 15 doing a little acrobatic move there as they made contact.
Did we foreshadow that?
We may have, and you know what? It actually works out pretty well, because now it's not going to take me 20 minutes to find out where the caution was, because we were watching it live. The 97 up high, the 15 down low. These guys have been putting on some fantastic racing for the past 15, 20 laps or so, and you see the 15 gives him just a little bit of a shot. He tries to straighten him back out, but 97 turns up right and flips the 15 over, shoots him up into the wall. Big wreck for the 19, or the 15 rather. 15 resets. The 27 does a great job getting on the binders. But the 97, man, he's got some damage. Looking like he's going to be heading on down pit road. He's going to be the last car on the lead lap. Showing timing and scoring right now. 12 cars on the lead lap. If I am correct, it looks like the 57 of John Byron's going to get the wave by. And that's going to give us 13 cars on the lead lap with less than 5 laps to go, boys. Man, oh man, oh man. We are in for a treat here.
All right, well, we're probably going to see another couple of caution laps here, Jerry. We're probably going to be down to 3 laps to go. Looks like possibly we could see another caution as the gloves are coming off. 3 drivers will transfer into the All-Star race on Thursday night for a bit of cash. They will have the option tonight, a go or no-go. If they choose no-go, they get $20, and that spot will go to the next driver to the All-Star race. They will be looking for fans' choice. We will do a vote online. So 1 car from this race will actually be voted into the All-Star race. But the top 3 are up for grabs. Right now, Brandon Campbell, Cole Butcher, and Keith McClellan are in that position for the big race on Thursday, presented by Tranquility.app. But keep an eye on that 4th position of Richard Drake. We've been talking about him all night long. That 141 with the Laker News on the hood is in striking range of this position for transfer.
Man, Mikey, it seems like we've been talking about the top 5 all season long. You got the 99 of Brandon Campbell, the 53 Cole Butcher, the 30 Keith McClellan, the 141 of Rational Richard Drake, and the number 8 of Evan Osborne. And then you go to the 6th place, the 5 of Craig Tully, and then the 19 of Ryan Walsh. These are all names we've been seeing all season long, and we're only taking 3? Are you kidding me?
I say we take them all. Let's just put them on Daga and start 40 of them.
There you go. Great. Looks like we got a green-white checkered on tap here. Lined all up, 2 by 2 all the way through. Bring us to the finish, boys.
All right. The 99 will get the hammer. He's going to get the switch here as he files off. But the 53 manages to tuck in front of the 30 of Keith McClellan. Look at the 141 looking for some grip at the top of the track. 8 of Evan Osborne now comes into the window. Jerry, this is going to get hot in the final lap as they come around for White Silk.
And as that white flag comes out, it's going to get interesting because Campbell is not going to give up the win. He is fighting for that one. Butcher's still running in the 2nd spot, but that battle behind. McClellan holding on to the spot as Osborne fights, but it's too late. The checkered flag belongs to the 99 of Brandon Campbell.
Campbell being so perfect throughout the night. You know, he actually led quite a number of laps here tonight. Cole Butcher had a lot to play with here tonight, but just not enough for that 99 of Brandon Campbell.
And look at Evan Osborne ended up in that 4th spot. He did get around the 141 of Rational Richard. A wild finish, that's for sure.
So the top 3 that have qualified for the Thursday race, Brandon Campbell, our race winner here tonight, Cole Butcher, Keith McClellan, they'll have the choice of receiving $20 here tonight or getting the push to the next driver and giving them the opportunity. Some of these drivers may be working Thursday night, so it will be interesting once we get into the interview to see who will actually be transferring over Paul, what a finish here once again. Over the last couple of months, we've seen it quite often. We've seen this green, white checkers. And once again, it's proven to be a successful and amazing night here.
Absolutely, you couldn't have said it any better, Mikey. And man, these guys put on a it's the thing that they put on a great race all night long, but every single time they seem to kind of crank up the stank, if you will, on the last couple of laps, especially when we get a green white checkered. But at this point, we've got some top 3 interviews kind of working their ways into the booth. So we're gonna take a quick break here and listen to a word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're gonna listen to some top 3 interviews, and where we're gonna talk to League Administrator Tim Terry. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Living with anxiety or depression can make everyday situations and interactions seem impossible, and getting the right help can be expensive and inconvenient. We're changing that with Tranquility. Our program follows the highly effective gold standard, cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps people change negative thoughts and unhelpful behaviors by teaching them skills to practice in real life. Using Tranquility is convenient. You can move at your own pace from your phone or computer, and you don't have to do it alone. Your one-on-one coach is there to help keep you motivated and supported all the way through. If you're ready to unlock the tools you need to approach the day with confidence, visit tranquility.app to sign up for a free trial.
Welcome back to Verdane TV and the Tranquility Online All-Star Showcase Open. Great show put on by these Open drivers to try to qualify for Thursday night's Tranquility All-Star Showcase $750 purse. And Mike James, I believe you've caught up with our winner, a guy that darn near almost won South Boston a couple of weeks ago, but had to earn his spot in the showcase the hard way. Brandon Campbell. Mike, you're with him.
Yeah, we're down here on trackside with Brandon Campbell in the 99. What a night. Led 106 laps here tonight. Campbell, a lot of pressure from Cole Butcher and Keith your seat as tight as you could with the straps on, but take us through tonight on strategy here at Five Flags. I know you've had a couple of runs throughout the season, like South Boston, where I believe you ran out of fuel. So pit road strategy, what was it going to take to win tonight?
Yeah, well, tires were the issue at South Boston, so I made sure not to make that mistake again. Luckily, we had a caution about halfway through, so it worked out for me, I guess.
Quite a few cautions here tonight, but on those restarts, it seemed like even when you were on the outside, you had them dialed in here tonight. Take us through some of the restarts here tonight with the pressure from Keith McClellan and Cole Butcher.
Oh, those guys had me clenching the wheel as tight as I could, that's for sure, but on the inside, it's pretty easy. You take off whenever you want, but on the outside, you just hope for the best, and I guess tonight it worked out a couple times.
So big question now, are you going to take the $20 or are you going to throw it to the side and go for the big All-Star Showcase presented by Tranquility.app this Thursday night for the big money?
Well, it took me a whole season to get there, so I may as well make my way into the All-Star race at this point.
Well, it's going to be pretty exciting to see you. Specifically over the last couple of weeks, Brandon, you've put on a great show. You ran at the front, but just unfortunately, sometimes it just does not work. It could be a small wreckage or even pit road strategy sometimes, but great to see the 99 on the front row here tonight. Brandon, anybody in real life you want to thank on your real life machine, and what help did you have throughout tonight?
Yeah, I'd definitely like to thank my parents. They deal with my yelling and screaming through all hours of the night. I'd like to thank Damien at Next Level Soccer Academy. He's kept me pretty busy during these COVID times, so I can't thank him enough. And just all the guys for putting this on. You guys, Tim, they just make it fun. We didn't really have much else to do, so some nighttime racing with the boys is pretty great.
Brandon, I'm not familiar with you as I'm here in Newfoundland with Eastbound International, but in real life, what do you do during the summer on the racetrack?
Well, Dad never trusted me with the keys to the race car, so I usually sat back. But no, haven't gotten a car yet, so I just like to go and watch. And
I'm going to throw something in here.
You know, Brandon, some of the top drivers out there, like Ty Majeski and others out there, have started in iRacing, so maybe Tim can hook you up with a rent-a-ride.
Oh, Tim, open your wallet up.
Listen, I've done the Speedway Miramachi edits, working through those to premiere this week. I think I've seen more of Eldon this week than I have of Brandon, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but congratulations, Brandon. Good show, and we'll see you Thursday.
Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you guys Thursday.
Giddy up. Congratulations, Brandon.
Is Jerry Paxton still here?
I am.
Let's talk to Cole Butcher, our second place finisher.
Cole, it's Jerry. You had a really good night. I know second place isn't like where you like to finish, but some tough challenges out there tonight, especially on those restarts.
It's probably my best finish on this Tim's Corner deal since, I don't know, whenever I got this computer.
So the wheel feels a little different in your hands, is what you're trying to tell me.
Oh yeah, this gets more frustrating than anything.
So on restarts, I know the driver on the pole gets to set the pace, so that must be a challenge of something completely new to you.
Oh yeah, we can go whenever you want. If you're the leader, you got the race won. But it's a good guessing game. It keeps your head always thinking, and I guess it might help me when I go real racing.
So the big question is, and I think I already know the answer, but $20 or a spot in the big show?
Nah, I'll go to the show.
I knew the answer, but I had to ask the question. Tim said so. Good luck in the big show on Thursday. Great race tonight, and congratulations.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll also see Cole tomorrow, I believe, for the Nova Truck Center's 150, right?
Yes, sir. I think Gary Elliott's going to bring his car down before the race, and we're going to tune her up. So hopefully he doesn't roll over in the main feature.
I hope we'll be okay. If he rolls over his sim, there might be something wrong. But congratulations to Cole Butcher and Mike. Keith McClellan, he's had an up and down season with us. Great to see him finish third. Catch up with our third place finisher there, Mike.
Hey, Keith, how's it going, buddy, man? I've been watching you all season, 30 Bud Light machine, and finally seeing you here at the transfer spot. It's awesome that we might possibly see you Thursday in the big All-Star race. Take us through tonight. I know it was, it's not always good to be in third, but I know you were looking for that first place. Take us through tonight.
Well, yeah. First of all, you will see me Thursday because I'm accepting $20 to give that spot up. But appreciate the offer, I guess. Other than that, man, yeah, no, I knew I had a shot tonight, but that 99, he was absolutely on rails. Hats off to him. I was sailing it into the corner trying to reel him in, and he only made one or two mistakes. He got a piece of the wall once. I closed the gap, and then he just drove away again. So good job to him, man. That was a stout ride tonight, and good job to Cole Butcher. He's just a class act, man. We race hard, and both of us end up finishing the race each time. We were battling at Oxford, and we got here tonight, and same deal, side by side. He passed me on the outside. I passed him on the outside. It's just good, hard racing, and it's a pleasure to race with them guys.
So I've been watching you over the last 2 months, and you really know how to simulators. Just take us through all the listeners at home. How long have you been iRacing, and what kind of plans do you have for this summer for the real racetrack?
Well, for iRacing, I started, I think, in 2012, and shortly thereafter. Actually, it was a couple of years before that I got into it to start, and 2012, I think, is when Tim fired up that MIRL, the Maritime League, for the first time, and I ran that quite a bit for a few seasons. And then my equipment's not the best, and I was sick of kind of the quality bar going nuts and lagging and whatnot. So I took some time off, and oddly enough, I have the same equipment now that I had like 2-3 years ago when I was running, and I just wiped it all and fired it back up. And away she went. I mean, it's not as good as what some of these guys are running, but I guess it gets the job done. I got third tonight, and I finally got locked into that All-Star race. I was hoping to get locked in earlier than tonight. Put yourself in the pressure cooker that is this last call for everyone. And no, just happy, man. Happy to be there. As for the real racing, my buddy Ronnie McKay, hopefully he kills it in the Sportsman if we ever fire it up in Sydney. And I'm looking forward to watching him blow their doors off. So other than that, tickled pink right now, man. I know Tim knows how bad I wanted in that race. And I didn't give myself as many opportunities as I probably should have. I only ran 10 or 11 of the whatever 35 or 40 he ran, but there was nights I was drinking beers and I probably should have been racing. But on the other hand, there was nights I was racing and I probably should have been drinking beers. So it worked out in the end. I get to go racing Thursday with the boys, and I'm pumped.
Well, we're excited to have you this Thursday, and congratulations. Had quite a few good runs this season, even if it was only 10 or 11 runs. So we're looking forward to seeing you on Thursday in that Bud Light machine. That will be it for the night, Tim. What a show. Did not... this kind of feels like the iRacing league is starting to get to the final moments before we get back to the real world.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic and kind of how it transitions is kind of neat. But Miramichi opened last week. We actually, I got a couple of messages from John O'Shea. I've got some video to mix as soon as we're done. So I don't know if I'm going to see my pillow anytime soon, but that's the way it is during the racing season anyway. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. These guys have put on a tremendous show. Tonight was a tremendous show. Great to see everybody. I think there's only one that might be a little bit upset that I owe an explanation to, but we'll cross that bridge. The All-Star race is going to be big coming up on Thursday. Evan Osborne, I don't think he's in here, but as long as he doesn't win the fan vote, he'll pick up $20 courtesy of the Tim's Corner Motorsports Go or Go Home, since nobody in the top 3 accepted it. So he'll be in there. The payout has increased to $750 total. Top 20 are getting paid. I think 10th on back gets $10 at least. It's something for showing up. Plus, there's $250 in lap money. So there's a lot on the line coming up for one 250 lap race at Five Flags. I liked how the racetrack came in too on the outside line tonight. Saw a couple of outside passes, so that's going to be good for Thursday night. But thanks to everybody that supported this deal. Mark and Joel from Tranquility, we owe them a huge one. They've been really supportive of this deal. Tranquility.app if you haven't gone over to check them out yet. And then tomorrow night, we're still trying to wrangle a couple of drivers up for the Nova Truck Center's 150. I believe we're at 13 right now. We're waiting on a couple of iffies and a couple of maybes to confirm with us, but the Parts of Trucks Pro Stock Tour back on the air. Jerry will be here, Mike, Dylan, and Joe, so it'll be a good little show tomorrow night. If you're out there and you've raced the Pro Stock Tour in the last 5 years, come on out and join us on the iRacing track. Good to see Rusty here tonight, so hopefully he's with us tomorrow night too. And I think Craig Ward is going to join you guys at some point, our 2019 Rookie of the Year on the tour. So it's going to be a fun little night. Be here for that. Be here Thursday night as well for the Tranquility All-Star Showcase, the season finale per se, when we do this iRacing deal. And then Petty opens up on Saturday, and hopefully the borders open up shortly thereafter. Keith mentioned Sydney. I know we're working on something in the background for Sydney in July, contingent on what health restrictions are there. So it's going to be great. I thank you to everybody that helped put this together. We'll do this all again on Thursday night for the Tim's Corner showcase. And Paul, until then, I think we're almost ready to dust this thing off. And well, we're not gonna dust it off. We're just gonna put the cover over it. It's just like your residency at Talladega. Apparently, you got a residency in Pensacola too. Put the cover over this and get us our upcoming events, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, man, for sure. And man, this is a great second race here at Five Flags Speedways. We just ran the Florida Pro Truck Series Challenge. We crowned a champion there, Cameron Ray, taking home the championship for that series. And pretty cool, you know, Verdane TV rocking 3 champions this week. And we didn't even plan it that way. We had crowned a champion tonight in the Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series. We're going to be crowning a champion Wednesday night for the Edgewater Screens World E-Series of Racing on Wednesday night. That's going to be at USA International Speedway. And then we're going to be running the Tim's Corner Motorsports All-Star Showcase on Thursday night. So really excited to look forward to that. And then tomorrow night, as Tim made allude to already, the Pro Stock Tour race. Friday night, nothing going on here at Verdane TV because this guy right here is going to Stafford Motor Speedway. Going to be working with the street stock team of the Rent a Race Car boys, and man, I'm excited to meet up with my friends at the racetrack and get one of those delicious pulled pork sandwiches from Stafford Motor Speedway. But after that, looks like we're actually off this weekend, which is you know, it's kind of exciting because I get to enjoy some of the summer weather. It is finally summertime, as yesterday was the first full day of summer, and we've got the next scheduled race. It's going to be July 7th, another Pro Stock Tour race here for Tim's Corner Motorsports. So we do have some dates open, but we are absolutely going to utilize some of the downtime here to upgrade some of the stuff on our ends. We kind of revamp the website just a little bit, revamp some of our graphics and all that good stuff, and we definitely are aware that everybody is going back to the real tracks. We're going back to real racing across North America, Canada, America, and United States, and all that good stuff. So, gonna kind of revisit the schedule here in the next couple of weeks and see who is available when, and we'll get all that information out to the Facebook page. But you know what? For now, pardon me, I think we're gonna throw the cover on it, because we're coming back to Five Flags on Thursday night for the All-Star Showcase, and really looking forward to that. Been looking forward to that since March, since we got going here at Verdane TV and kind of paired up with Tim's Corner Motorsports. So very appreciative to be a partner there. And you know what? There's $750 on the line, and these drivers have been entertaining a lot of our fans here throughout the past couple of months through this COVID-19 nonsense where everybody's stuck at home. So if you're wanting to kind of throw a couple of bucks at these guys, get in touch with us here at Verdane TV, or get in touch with Tim Terry at Tim's Corner Motorsports. There's definitely still some sponsorship available. We can get your brand out there to the masses, as here at Verdane TV we're always trying to entertain the masses and to make sure that we keep all the politics and nonsense out of it, because we're all about racing here at Verdane TV. So we're going to throw a cover on it, like Tim Terry said, and for everybody here at Verdane TV, myself, Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr., everybody at Tim's Corner Motorsports, Tim Terry, Jerry joining us for the very first time, doing an amazing job, and Mike James from The Rock. Thank you guys so much for joining us here tonight. We hope this broadcast made it to you in good health, but if not, well, we hope you get well soon, because, man, it's crazy out there with all the stuff going on. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We will catch you on the flip side, and when we do, we're going to do it live.
Living with anxiety or depression can make everyday situations and interactions seem impossible, and getting the right help can be expensive and inconvenient. We're changing that with Tranquility. Our program follows the highly effective gold standard, cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps people change negative thoughts and unhelpful behaviors by teaching them skills to practice in real life. Using Tranquility is convenient. You can move at your own pace from your phone or computer, and you don't have to do it alone. Your one-on-one coach is there to help keep you motivated and supported all the way through. If you're ready to unlock the tools you need to approach the day with confidence, visit tranquility.app to sign up for